On today's video on how to build your food truck, the video series that we have started on how you can convert a empty trailer that we have here, a 7x16 trailer, into a full mobile concession trailer or kitchen on wheels. You could do the same thing with the food truck, with the builds and things like that. It's pretty similar construction when it comes to it. We're going to be working on a couple just miscellaneous button-up items, one of them being the ceiling here. We're going to be installing the stainless steel, putting the insulation right there. I'm going to give you all the different tips that I have on how you can save some money on this insulation. And also these can lights. I installed this one yesterday just because I wanted to see how it looked. I'm not a fan of this gap that you guys can see right there. So I don't know if I'm going to keep them. My food truck that I have right now, for some reason, doesn't have that gap, but this one does. So I don't know if I like that look. So we're going to play around with another light that's coming tomorrow, a flush mount light. I'll show you how I install that and see which one I like better. But for now, we are finishing up the stainless steel right here. It gets a little tricky because the roof line, as you can see, kind of like domes in. So we have to make a little bit extra cuts right there. But thank you again for subscribing. Thank you again for watching. This is a video series where we take everything step by step and I show you how you can build your own food truck, just like I kind of built mine in my backyard pretty much, and I can show you how to do it yourself as well. And a bonus spoiler alert, after I finish showing you how I installed these two pieces of stainless steel right here, we're going to start on our outlets and switches, and then we're going to connect our main breaker cable, because cutting stainless steel outside today in 100-degree weather with the sun shining right at you is not very fun. So we're going to move it inside to the trailer, and we're going to be doing outlets and switches. So that's the bonus spoiler alert that we're going to add to the end of this video. So thanks again, Frank Baltierrez with DIY series, how you can build your own food truck in your backyard, in your driveway, and you can take it out on the street and start making income for yourself and your business. So now that the walls are up, the next part of the stainless steel project is putting on the ceilings, and part of the ceiling is the lights. And I'm using these slim LED cans. This one is a template that goes with the can light, which is this one right here. These are slim LED can lights, 6-inch. You can use these, you can use 4-inch, or you can use surface mount lights as well. I do like LED lights. I'm not a fan anymore of fluorescent lights. So if you can, buy LED lights. They're really nice to have and bright, and they don't heat up, which is nice. This one is a 10-foot piece of stainless steel that we're going to be able to use on the ceiling. We're going to fit 3 can lights in here. So 1, 2, and 3 right there. The only issue with this is that it's going to be super duper heavy to lift overhead. So I'm going to need some help to put this piece on the ceiling. This is going to be probably the only full-size piece that I put, like width and length. So let's get ready. The question that I received quite often on the last couple videos that I've posted up is, where did I buy my stainless steel? So what I did is I Googled a local metal shop around me, and I called different places. This was about last year, and I just asked for pricing, and I did it locally because shipping costs will probably be crazy on these heavy sheets of stainless steel. I bought mine from a place called Rocco Steel in the city of Lombard,
So when
Illinois.
you cut something, it doesn't matter if it's like this can light or if it's a corner or just the width or the length. You want to make sure that you always clean up the opposite end. As you can see there's like the metal furs that are right there, and over here there isn't. I took that same metal grinder and I just kind of slid it across there, so to speak, and I cleaned this up so you can see there. I still need to do that side right there. So just a little quick cleanup anywhere that you cut the stainless steel. And then you want to take that slim LED can and just give it a dry fit. Make sure that it does fit in the hole. In case you have to trim something, you want to at least make sure that it's down here and not when it's up top, because it's probably be a lot harder. So we're going to take that in there. Little whip goes inside. So there we go. That one fits nice and snug right there. So we'll try the other one, the third hole, and make sure that that fits as well. These slim LED cans have like these little clips on the side. You got to watch out because they'll snap back and hit your finger pretty hard. So that's how it holds. Usually when you use it on residential houses, it holds onto the drywall, and here obviously is holding onto the stainless steel. So let's try this one and see if it fits. I haven't tried them yet, so everything that I'm doing here is a first time. So if I mess it up, you guys can know that I messed it up. Let me see. There it is. That one fits nice and snug as well on there. So those 3 can lights fit nice and flush on there. So it doesn't really matter if you cut like jagged right here, as you see, like right here, maybe not the perfect cut, but as long as that circle fits in there, it'll cover it right up. This from left to right is 7 inches, and the hole that we cut inside is 6 1/4. So you have about 3/4 inch play on each side. So we need the help of these guys right here on the next part of the food truck build. They're called the zip walls. It's a 4-pack because what we're gonna do next is install the ceiling on the food truck build, our food trailer, because we want to put in our can lights, and then we can put in our hood right there. This one's gonna be a 7-foot hood. We got the walls done on either side. We just get that little part right there to do, but that one has to get in line with the ceiling. So there's a strategy of why that was left blank. So these little guys right here help us hold up the stainless steel, because working overhead can get a little bit tricky, a little bit heavy, and you don't want to wear yourself out, because if you drop it, stainless steel is sharp, it'll cut you, and that's something that you do not want. So get some help if you need it. This is like an extra set of hands. I do need a second person to help me lift this sheet right here. It's a full 4x10 stainless steel sheet that we're going to put on there, and it's going to be super heavy. So get ready, let's finish that up now. Just so you can see how helpful the zip walls are, look at this. It's holding up the stainless steel right here, so I can adjust the stainless steel as I need to, so it can fit really nicely right here, like on the edges. And this is holding everything up, because this weighs, ooh, I don't even know how much a sheet of stainless steel weighs, but this is doing all the work. Much recommended product, zip walls. So now that the zip walls are holding up the stainless steel right on top of the ceiling, I have to do one more part to this, which is put some insulation in there. That way it doesn't get too hot or too cold, depending on your time of weather and your time of the year. I'm gonna cut this right in half. This one is a lot less inexpensive to buy than the unfaced one. That's the Pink Panther. This is still a Pink Panther, but it's faced. But I'm gonna take that face off and then put it right on top of those gaps right there. And that's gonna be the next part of what we're doing. We got the 3 can lights right there as well. And then we're gonna secure everything right on top. But before I secure it, I wanna put some of that insulation over there, because this stainless steel right now is really, really hot. And this helps it quite a bit to stay on the cooler side during summer. So this is how the insulation looks when it's unrolled. As you can see here, it has the brown face right there. I take it off. That's just my personal preference. You don't have to, I guess, if you don't want to. I just like taking it off. And I'm gonna cut 52-inch pieces. That way it covers from this side, where's my finger? From this side all the way to this side. And then it's gonna have a little bit over, kind of, as you can see right there. And then we just lay it in there, and then we're gonna screw this piece of stainless steel right in place. It might look like I finished really quick, but actually this one takes a little bit of a lining to do. That way it covers that gap on where it meets the wall and the ceiling. So you're gonna make sure that it gets a nice little curve on there, because it's not a full 90-degree angle on my trailer. So it's not as easy as it looks, but it can be done nice and efficiently. So here we go, everything stayed up. Always a success to see that, at least. It didn't fall on the floor. The zip walls did an excellent job. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I didn't get them sooner. On my first food truck that I built, being Rolling Burritos, I didn't have them. So I imagine a person up here trying to hold this up and screwing at the same time and trying to hit the stud. It was not a pretty picture, but that is something that you will need on the next part, which is the hood. It's not the next part, but on the next big installation here, we will use these zip walls. This is how the insulation looked on this side. It's just a small Pink Panther that we just stuffed right inside there, as you can see, and then it's just gonna extend out to this way. So there you go. The biggest piece that's gonna go on the ceiling has now been installed. This one will be next, and then we'll move up a little bit to the front, and then the hood will go up here pretty soon. When it comes to like the front part of the trailer and like around the hood, you got to get creative with your cuts. And it's where it can get a little bit tricky, and it's like one of those places and times that you're like, man, I don't want to do this, but it has to get done. And it's going to look really nice when you guys are done with your own food truck as well. So here I did a little bit of a transition and moved over to the electrical. That way we can get everything wrapped up on that as well. Be careful when you're skinning the wire here. You don't want to go too deep on the insulation because you can skin the conductor wires inside. So be very careful when you're cutting with the utility knife. And also something that we're going to do very, very soon is we're going to take an extension cord and put a 50 amp plug on it. That way we can hook up to either like our house power or wherever your trailer, your truck is while you're doing construction. That way you can get power here. So I was able to finish up the 2 pieces of stainless steel right there in the back. And I got to tell you something, it is hot outside. So I stopped cutting stainless steel because I think I was just getting a suntan just cutting stainless steel, and it was really hot. The sun's beating right on you. I don't have one of those hats with the little umbrella on top or else I'll probably keep going. So with that, I switched it up just a little bit and I came over here to the electrical panel. Don't worry, there is no power coming to the electrical panel. If you don't have a generator running or it's not hooked up to a like a house power or commercial power on the outside in the front where the generator inlet plug is, then there will be no power in your breaker panel. So I skinned this back right there, up to there, and I landed the cables. That's what we call it when you connect it over to like a breaker or a outlet or something. You land it. So I landed it right here on the hot and also the neutral and the ground. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to start on the outlets and the switches. I'm going to start on the easiest one, being the prep cooler down here, the prep fridge. This was just going to be a regular 15 amp outlet. Make sure you can either get a 15 amp or if you have a 20 amp breaker up there with 12 gauge wire, then you'll just get a 20 amp plug on here. Make sure that they're tamper resistant. That's what they call them, tamper resistant outlets. This is one of my favorite brands to go to for outlets and switches. So that's what we're using, tamper resistant. And then you're going to need probably just two or three. Wait, let me see. So you can either have 2 switches or 3 switches. 2 switches if you want your 2 outside lights to turn on at the same time. If you put rope lights and regular exterior lights. If you want them controlled differently, then you're going to have 3 switches because one's going to be for your interior lights and the other 2 are going to be for your exterior lights. So that's just depends on your preference. So we're going to put the outlet down here and then we're going to just keep moving because I do not want to cut stainless steel today in midday because I'm already sweating. Look at this, I'm already sweating. I'm just here chilling. So with that, let's get rocking and rolling on the outlets and the switches. Just wanted to give you an update on that. This side is done right there, and I'm not cutting stainless steel for the rest of this afternoon. Maybe towards the evening I will, but for now, it's a no. Right here, we do the same thing. We skin this wire back with our utility knife. You just kind of take your utility knife, skin it back. Then you use your strippers right here. We have my Milwaukee strippers. You strip this back and then you give it a little curve right there. That way you can hook onto the screws right there, or you can just put them right in the top. Oop, that's a switch. So this one right here, this one you hook up that little hook right there on that side, or you can stab them in to the back. I don't like that one so much just because I don't feel like it always grips well. So I like to hook it and then put it into those. The one that's always the longest is going to be your neutral. The one that's always your shortest is going to be the hot. And the screws are also different color. The hot usually is always in a gold color, and the neutral is always usually typically in a silver color. So that's how you connect those. Just take that to that, tighten it up and put it in and tape it. We'll finish up this outlet for today. On the next video, we'll go into more details on how to do the switches and the outlets. And again, thank you for subscribing to the channel. This one done right here. As you can see, I got the outlet right there and the switch outlet right there. Let me take you on a peek up front and let me show you how I connected the water pump outlet that's going to be a switched outlet as well as another extra outlet. And let me see if I can explain it one more time and hopefully it connects more dots together. So this is towards the front of the trailer. This is where we connected those last 2 remaining stainless steel pieces this morning. And this is going to be a regular outlet right here, which runs power across, and it comes right there. And this is going to be a switched outlet, actually, and it says right here, top on here. So one thing that you need to know, or that you should know, is that it doesn't matter what way you connect your wires on here. It can be your hot down here and your switch leg up here, switch leg up here, and your hot down there. It has no relevance on a single switch. On a single switch, just know that if you do like a three-way or something, which you probably won't use in a food truck, it's different. But in a single switch, it doesn't matter what screw or what wire you put on what screw. So this one right here, you can see the SL from our labeling before. It runs down and it comes down here where it says SL. So I made that black wire the switch leg for this complete outlet. And then the neutral, every outlet gets its neutral and every light gets a neutral, and that gets connected there, and they all run up here. All the neutrals get connected, and that goes all the way back to the breaker panel. If your health department asks for a GFI is kind of like what you have in your bathroom or your kitchen where it has a little button. These aren't deep enough for a GFI. So what you can do is put a GFI breaker on your panel, right over there. You can put a GFI breaker, and that'll do the same thing as a GFI outlet. Just know that that is in case they ask for this, because your hand sink is going to go right here, and obviously it's close to water. They didn't ask for it with me, so that's why I don't have it. But if they ask for it with you, then you can just make this a GFI breaker. You don't need to make these GFIs, just so you know. And the other one right here is a straight outlet, and that is just going to be down here for whatever use you need for it. I put my propane detector down here, so when I'm running, it detects any type of propane leaks or anything like that. So I put it down low because that's where they recommended it be, on the lower side. So that's the hot side, which is right here. This is a power cable, and that just goes straight to this outlet. The switch leg goes to this outlet. All the neutrals get connected, and that goes all the way up here. The power, that runs down to the bottom. This is the switch leg, which runs right here, if you guys can see. Where is it? It's right here. The switch leg goes to here. This is the wire. This one goes to the other side of the window. That's a power. So that gets connected power, and then one of the sides get connected to the outlet, and the other power, it just horseshoes around, and it comes right back to the switch. So that's how you connect outlets and switches. Hopefully that made a little bit more sense. Just know that all your powers get connected, and you do a little pigtail off that, come off here, and then you come to the switch on this side, and then the switch that gets connected straight to the switch. So that is the connection of a outlet and a switch. We're going to keep doing a few more that we have left here, and I'll probably explain those as well, just in case maybe my wiring didn't look as neat there and you guys didn't catch it all. But that's the concept. Let's plug them up and plate them up and put tape around it too.